What up, everyone? This is Master Vavi. Hope you guys doing all right. And we got to talk about Season 8 of New World and do a quick review on this because it's been a couple weeks and now we can kind of have an idea of what's been the good and the bad. There's been a lot of good things, but there's been, I think, more bad things. That's why I call the Season 8 the Season of Illusion, where we really don't have anything. Everything sounds good on paper, but nothing really happens. We have batches of small increments of content that is spread out through the whole season instead of having an actual new season that you download and you play right on the spot. It feels like crumbles that we're getting constantly with New World, and more I need to agree that we're getting one good patch a year now. That's been the consistent with AGS. Sorry developers, you guys obviously have a lot of potential and a lot of talent, but you're maybe not using it the right way or with the right direction. We can tell that now. Things are a little bit different with the leadership of New World and AGS. Scott looks like stepping a little bit away, maybe working on a LOTR project, and Kat taking a little bit more of the reins. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's something we need. I like the last video that they posted. She looks like she's in control. She likes what she's doing. So it looks promising for the future, but still we gotta talk about what's here, what's today. I really don't like to do these videos, but AGS is not giving us much to work with. So let's get into it. I would say the good things first. DLSS 4, great implementation. I love it. DX12, great implementation. Performance in general, for my opinion, has improved a little bit. Frames has been a little bit higher. Are they stable? No, they're not. Never. God knows when that's gonna happen. But in general, performance has been way better than before. We still had a lot of new perks, so that was a huge thing that I always said about New World. They need to add every season new perks, and that's what they did. They dropped the stop, drop, and roll, centering stacks. That is the absolute must nowadays. Hardcore parkour. This perk really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Alternating enchantments, vital synergy, anointed potions, anointed lifesteal, and potent alacrity and potent energy. Some of them are bad, some of them are meta breaking, but reality is we're getting new perks, and that's a great thing. But we got new infused burst, regen potion. We got more grit. We got more lifesteal. Shots. Now we have shots, infused shield potions as well. So like it is all over the place. 7 new artifacts. That was great. Some of them are useless. The vast majority of them are useless. I still don't think they're doing a good job with the artifacts, but who cares nowadays? And then the new OPR map. But that was also a good thing, I guess. We've tried it before, but it's here and it's a new thing. So credit where it's due. Aim lock adjustments, that's also a really good thing in my opinion. The fact that now you lose the aim lock whenever you're aiming down sights, that is the best implementation that they've could have added so far. I don't know how it is right now for the controller players, but I think it is much more balanced. It doesn't feel like cheating at all or wall hacking sometimes. So I do prefer this implementation. Streamers as well doing BB aim lock to death. Calling it mechanics, that's what they call it. I call it small balls, but who cares? But I'm gonna say this is the last point that I got as a good point. The CTF map, and I'm not saying mode, I'm calling it the map. I don't think the mode is good at all. I think the mode is average. I think the map itself, the jumping mechanics, the pads, the middle section where you can shove players downstairs, you know, and kill them. You don't get the kill, it should give you the kill. The map has a good design, good structure, good base. It's not very big. You can have cool rotations, cool movement, and survive pretty well with this new map. So I think the map is probably the best thing. But it's a bad thing at the same time because it's just a test. And now we jump into the bad things straight away. Talking about bad things then for Season 8, and this is where it gets complicated, guys. First one for me is an illusion. There's no real content, and if you guys go and check the roadmap last year, the development, look at what they say in development. They say new seasonal worlds, territory system improvements. So new seasonal worlds, that's happening in increments. So we're now going to get the hardcore mode coming out now. So we did not get that in launch. I think that's a bad thing. Territory system improvements. did not happen. Pickup wars did not happen. Crafting improvements, very little to none. Invasion difficulties did not happen. Endgame rewards and system improvements did not happen. Global storage did not happen. Barbershop happened, but it's not the barbershop that we wanted. I thought this would be a station that you would go there. It would be more intuitive. It would be a little bit more connected with your other players. This is just an item in the shop that you can change your looks. But even then, it's so expensive. Oh my God, barbershop is not the one that we were looking for. Plus, did they add really new visuals? Something that's new? I don't really think so. So I think it's overpriced. But it's the only thing that actually dropped. New PvP modes didn't drop. New PvP maps didn't drop. Invasion mode with matchmaking didn't happen. Endgame reputation systems didn't happen. Endgame progression improvements didn't happen. When you see it this way, and then you jump into the New World Living roadmap of April 2025, the update for the Season of Divide, and you see the OPR map, Coral Divide, yeah, that dropped. But then you go capture the flag preview. It's a preview, and it's a weekend. It feels short, it falls short, and it's in increments. So you're not even getting the whole thing together. So now we're going to have map 2 whenever that happens, and then map of the arena whenever that happens. We never really know. The bare bones is coming out now, but it's also a preview. So the vast majority, half of this list is just previews in PTR. They have the audacity to put this as the roadmap, as content coming for the season. Content coming for the season. Guys, this is insane. This is insane that they produced this and put this out here like, oh, you guys are getting all these items for content. It is not content at all. You guys are being used as beta tests, as white lab rats. That's what you're being used at. It's sad that they didn't have enough content, but they want to hit hard on Season 9. That's what's happening. Rotating mode, bare bones OPR. I don't see this. This is a preview. Season World 2 Hardcore. Now this is coming as an increment as well. Didn't even drop on day 1 of Season 8. Disappointing. Barbershop, the only thing that came in from what they promised. Expeditions Unleashed. Who cares? Combat PvP updates. Really? Like what? They nerfed all these weapons? Are those the updates that you guys were talking about? Bow damage minus 27.16% for PvP. Nerfed musket, making it the worst weapon, undeniably the worst weapon in PvP mode. No one uses this weapon in a reliable way. Instead, they need to run traps so they can run to Narnia every time they shoot the weapon. This is what they've done to the PvP improvements, where Sword and Shield is not even on the list. It's not even nerfed at all. Where Void Gauntlet has a minus 11% nerf, where Void Gauntlet was barely nerfed. They touched the heavy attacks of it, but you can still light attack spam people to death and fight clumps of 2 to 3 enemies and still kill them in a medium build, doing the same damage as lights. Is this the PvP improvements that you guys have done? You basically killed light builds, where light builds are not viable anymore. Medium is the way to go. What's the point of being light if you dodge roll and it gives you the same distance basically as a light attack from a Void Gauntlet? The distance is not good. So yeah, I'm sorry if this does piss me off a little bit, that your PvP combat improvements are really not that big improvements. This roadmap, it's an illusion, guys. Nothing really happened. Just think about it. The CTF mode, it's not here. You're not playing it. It was just a test. It didn't even have a scoreboard. The CTF mode is not optimized. You should only be able to log in queue as solo or queue as group. You should have 2 separate options. So that's really disappointing. The world bosses, why is it weekly? Why is it 2 in 2 weeks or week in week? It should be all of them spawning randomly, random times. Do not flag it on the map. Let everyone have some discoverability or make them move from positions pretty quick. Now it just feels like in a seasonal event where everyone goes there, spams the boss for 5 minutes, he dies, and we're GG's good to go. It is super underwhelming. Even though I was super excited for this, I don't think they implemented it the right way. I don't think the play is to have the same boss for a week. I think that doesn't give enough discoverability as well, so people could be in different bosses, different areas. Now everyone's doing the same thing all the time on repeat. But now talking about a little bit about the builds, man. This is the worst meta of all times with New World, man. It is so disgusting and sad to see Sword and Shield Hatchet Berserk runners. I feel like I'm doing a marathon every game that I play. Every game that I play, everyone is running insane speed, bro. Keen speed boots. Every sort of possibility of haste is there. You got beacons, you got Sword and Shield passives, you got abilities, you got perks, you got pots, you got a bunch of stuff that just adds to haste. You guys think about this. See how contradicting they are. They did on the combat development video, they said, we think that fights are maybe lasting a little bit too long. People are staying in fights for too long. Guess what they did? They nerfed all the pots. Who's gonna be really struggling with that? All of your light builds, not your heavies, not your mediums, not your healers. It's the light builds that are struggling with that, creating imbalance. But not just that, what did they add as well? They added all sorts of ways of haste. So first of all, they actually affected the light build, so they do die pretty quick, but then everyone else that's running haste, you're prolonging fights. The fights are now longer than ever because you have this freaking berserker coming from Narnia. In 2 seconds, he's back in the middle of the point because he has so much haste, and he spams his abilities, boom, 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 leaping strike, bash, upheaval, 9k, and then hatchet, berserk, run out, get out, reset, get leaping strike again, and do the same thing on repeat. It is absolutely broken. And then you have so many other weapons that did not get a nerf. No fire staff nerf, no entomb nerf, no sword and shield nerf, no hatchet nerf, no void blade nerf, no healing nerf. All of these weapons that are actually the meta breaking weapons, they are the most common combinations that you guys see in OPRs, in arenas, in wars. It's void bladers with BP spamming freaking light attacks. It's fire staffers and entombing for days and healing for 3k every 5 seconds and teabagging you because they're so good and you're so bad. It's fire staffers dropping nuke balls 5 meters away from you, but still hitting for 5k. That doesn't need a nerf, but they're still gonna teabag you saying you're dog water. So guess what? They're really good players, and AGS has no clue what they're doing. Yes, PvP balance is not your pro. I'm sorry. New pots also being bad things. The new perks is really complicated for new players to enjoy this, and the same as the pots. You guys make it so hard to get it. I don't know why we're adding new pots of grit, new pots of leeching. I don't think you should have pots of leeching. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. That should be an ability. That should be a passive. That should be a perk. But you should not have pots. They're just min-maxing everything. Min-max haste. They added hasted vigor. They added so many abilities that give you more haste. They give you now perks that get you out of the exhaust situation. So even the folks that you try to make them dodge and stam out and get them exhausted, guess what? They find even more regeneration for those same players that are running 50% haste. And guess what? And then they complain that the fights are too long. They're lasting for too long, for too much. I think they should nerf medium builds and heavy builds with what they're taking of damage intake, or the perks. If they're running medium build and heavy builds, the perks of enchanted ward and healing effects and all that stuff should all be balanced accordingly to make it more balanced. Otherwise, you're gonna have mediums and heavies, which is happening, hitting for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9k upheavals, which is insane. You should not have an ability as a medium heavy. You should not have an ability that's hitting for 9k. You should not. Point blank understood. That is half HP of any build out there. Half HP. Running below 100 con is unacceptable now. You need to be running traps. That's what people run, and they run for days. One of the least used weapons as melee is the greatsword. It's a really good weapon, but they still nerfed it. The tracking is still undeniably one of the worst trackings for melee weapons. Musket also got nerfs. Why is the musket at minus 27% or 26% of damage in PvP? And bow? Why? The two undeniably hardest weapons to dominate in the game are the most nerfed weapons in PvP, with the smallest hitbox in the game, the biggest damage overall nerf. If you try to be medium to close range like I do, it is so hard to play with this meta. So hard. It is so boring to play against 5 stacks, leaping striking you 24/7. It's so boring. I want to leave that question to finish off this video. Do you think that mediums maybe are too strong? Do you think that mediums maybe should be nerfed in their damage that they're doing, damage output, or maybe damage mitigation? Same with heavies. You guys let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about Season 8. I want to say thank you for you guys that have been here. Jump in our stream from Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're having a really good time. Jump in. Don't forget to tell someone you love them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.